Hey gamers, Rick here with Game Trade Media. We've got Brian who's going to talk to us about Pandemic by Z-Man Games. So Brian, tell us about the history behind what is Pandemic.
So Pandemic is a really popular cooperative game. Came out just about 10 years ago now. And what you do is you are members of a disease control team, and there are 4 diseases that have broken out across the planet. We've got each disease has its own color. We have this black disease cubes here, yellow disease cubes, blue disease cubes, red disease cubes, and you're trying to simultaneously control the outbreak of these diseases, because if they kind of rampage too far across the globe, you're going to lose the game, while your ultimate goal is to find the cures for all 4 of the diseases.
Okay. So, based on what we see here, the black cubes are already dominating the board pretty heavily.
Yep.
So if we get to the point where we can't place a black cube, we lose.
That's correct, yeah,
right?
That's one of the ways you can lose. Yep, if you can't place any cubes of a certain color on the board when you need to, you lose. Diseases can outbreak, so if you have too many outbreaks and you get to the end of the track here, you're going to lose the game.
Wow.
If you run out of cards in the player deck, you're going to lose the game. The only way you win is if you find all 4 cures for the 4 diseases.
Oh my. Oh, no. So this game is a game for what, 2 to 4 players?
2 to 4, yep.
It takes about an hour, 45 minutes?
45 minutes to an hour, yeah.
Is for 8 years and older. So you could really introduce some critical thinking concepts to an 8-year-old, a young adult in regards to this, and also show them some real world issues.
Absolutely, yeah. So one of the great things I like about Pandemic, it is a cooperative game, yeah. So you can gets a younger audience in there, and you're not trying to, crush the other players or anything like that. You're working together, so it does introduce that kind of strategic thinking without there being, oh, I'm going to beat you, I'm the winner, you're the loser.
Yes, you're just playing against the board, which is deadly in itself.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
So let's show me some of the gameplay here. How would a couple turns of this go?
Sure. All right. So we already have the board set up here with kind of the starting situation. We stocked it with cubes. We're each going to take on a certain role. So I'm the medic. Everybody has their own unique ability. My ability is if I'm in a particular city and I want to treat that disease, instead of just treating 1 cube at a time, if I'm in Mexico City, for example, I just take all of the cubes away.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you're going to be
I'm the scientist. And for me, I need only 4 cards of the same color to do the Discover a Cure action.
Yes.
So I'm obviously pretty important.
Yes, yeah, very important, very powerful role.
Right.
Normally you need 5 cards of the same color, and you need to turn those in order to find a cure for a disease. You need 1 fewer card, which is really, really great.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so how does 1 turn, let's go 1 turn and then see if maybe we need to do another just to show some more mechanics.
Sure. All right, so we each have a hand of 4 cards here.
Okay.
Technically, you're supposed to hold them in your hand, but we can just put them down because we're working together. We can talk about it. So if we have any, we want to try and get cards over to you. I'm going to be the one kind of going around and keeping everything under control.
Right.
I have 2 yellow cards, so if I could maybe somehow try and get you some yellow cards, it'd be good. We're going to be thinking about that. You can also think about moving. You have 4 actions on your turn. Just moving along a line to another city like that is 1 action.
Okay.
You can also spend cards. So if I wanted to get to St. Petersburg really quickly, for example, I could spend this card. Just move directly to St. Petersburg.
Okay.
If I'm in St. Petersburg and I have the St. Petersburg card, I can use that card to move anywhere on the board.
Oh, wow.
So it's really about managing your hand, trying to think about what cards are most important to finding cures at a particular moment.
Sure.
Where you need to be, things like that.
Okay.
So for me, if I'm trying to, we have a lot of problems over here in this area. If I could somehow get down there and treat some diseases, that'd be pretty good.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't necessarily have any cards.
I do. And can we trade cards? Is there a mechanic for that?
There is a mechanic for that. there are some very specific conditions for
Okay.
trading cards. Just like traveling, you have to be in the same city. So if one of us had the Atlanta card where we are right now,
Right.
we could trade that back and forth.
Oh, I see.
Yep, you have to be in that particular city. And there is one rule that you can trade cities regardless of what city you're in.
Okay.
So that helps a lot.
Okay, perfect.
So, you want to start us off? Think
All right.
about-
Well, being the scientist, but I have to get the cards. So our actions are move along a line, right? So I would want to take down here if I wanted to get to that location, to Mexico City. And then what are the other actions that I have available to me?
So you can move, you can treat diseases, and you can also discard a city card that you have. So you have Mexico City. So if you were to make it to Mexico City, you could discard the Mexico City card to build a research center there.
Okay.
And research centers are important because that is actually where you need to go to discover the cures for the diseases.
Okay.
And if you have multiple research centers on the board, so if we had one in Baghdad, for example, you can travel directly in between those research centers.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a very
Okay.
powerful thing.
Okay. So my 4 actions are limited to just one movement, or can I do all 4 movement?
You can do all 4, yeah. You can
All right.
do...
So I would do that. I would do that. 1, 2. I have Mexico City.
Sure.
I would build a research center there,
Absolutely.
and that would be discarding this card at that
Yep,
point, right?
Go in the discard pile right there.
Okay. And so that's 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
And my 4th one is that drawing a card, or do I do that at the end?
You're going to do that at the end. So,
Okay.
Yeah,
But I have 2 issues there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any way of doing anything. Can I just do one treatment as a character?
Absolutely, yep.
Okay.
You could treat one of those cubes.
And I will
remove
treat one of those cubes then.
Yep, so now we have Mexico City under control a little bit more now, which is
Okay.
great. We have a research center there, starting to get that set up, and it's great.
Perfect.
So now your turn's over. You're
draw
going
a
to draw
card.
2 cards off the top.
Okay. Bogota and
Nice, all right. So
Carrot
now
two.
you have 2 yellow cards, so you're getting closer to the 4 you need to cure the yellow disease. It's
I like
perfect.
it.
Yep. And then after that, you're going to draw 2 cards from this, and we're going to infect more cities.
What?
And so that
already so
corresponds to
bad.
this little infection rate down here. So it's at
Okay.
2, so you're going to draw 2 of those
So we have
cards.
Osaka, Japan
Okay.
is going to get
That's
hit.
going to get a single cube.
Okay, and Osaka is right here. And then the next one is Bogota.
Bogota.
All right. And that's going to get just 1 as well?
Mm-hmm.
All right. There we go.
All right. All right, on my turn, I wish I could get over to this area of the board. I really don't have. I could. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to discard the St. Petersburg card.
Okay.
I'm going to fly all the way to St. Petersburg for 1 action. I'm going to take another action. That's 2 to get here to Istanbul. My 3rd action, because I'm the medic and I can do this, I'm going to treat the disease, and that lets me take all 3 of those cubes away instead of just 1 at a time.
Wow.
So we've got Istanbul taken care of.
Under control.
Yep. And now for my 4th action, this area of the board kind of has some issues, so I'm just going to start heading that way, I
All right.
think. And so next turn I can, maybe clean up some of that
All
stuff.
right. I like it. So I think we do need to do another turn, just because I want to see some more. I'm sure
Okay.
they want to see a little bit more. So let's go ahead and do another turn.
All right.
All right. So on my turn, first one I'm going to do is I'm going to.
I actually need to draw my cards
Oh, I'm
first.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
I get so excited. All right. I'm not excited because I feel like we're going to cure the. I think we're going to win.
You think we're feeling
I,
good?
think, I feel like we would win this. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're doing pretty good. We've got some stuff set up here. We maybe have some issues over here, but I think we're doing pretty well. You already have 2 yellow cards, so
Right?
yellow's
Easy,
not even going to be
easy.
a problem this game. But let me get my cards
Yeah.
here. All right, so epidemic.
wait.
These are kind of the big twist.
I spoke too soon.
In pandemic here. So when you get an epidemic card,
Okay.
you have to do 3 things here. I'm gonna put that right there if it helps. So you increase this. So as you get epidemic cards, and on more difficulty level, on higher difficulties, you have more epidemic cards in this
Okay.
player deck. So you can get it all the way down here. So you increase this infection rate, where eventually you're going to be drawing more cards during the
Oh,
infection
okay.
step. what you do then is you take the bottom card off of this deck here. So Beijing is going to get 3 red cubes. Yep.
Okay.
So that gets pretty intense. And then the last step, which is probably the meanest step, is you take all of these, you shuffle them up.
Uh-huh.
That's probably good. And you put them back on top. And because I drew that epidemic card, we're going to have to start drawing from that right away. So there's a chance that I could draw Beijing, and you can't have more than 3 cubes of the same color in a city. What would happen then is it would outbreak into the neighboring cities. We would increase this track, and we'd have a lot more stuff on the board.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't like that at all.
It gets really intense. So you're going through those
Let's
cities.
see how it
here.
works out then for
I'm going to
us.
grab my second card here real quick. So I have Jakarta, so I have 2 red and 2 yellow, which is great. All right, so now I have to do 2 cards here. Hopefully we don't get Beijing. All right, Mexico City. It's a good thing that you treated there last turn, so we doing pretty well there. And then, Bogota. All right.
Whew.
So we got a little lucky. You're in that area of the world, so you can take care of some stuff.
Wow, yikes. That's crazy.
Yep.
All right, so now it does revert back to my turn.
Now it goes back to you. Yep.
All right, so for my turn, I will treat for 1 action, for 2 actions,
Very nice.
and then I will move into Bogota. That's 3, and treat 1 there as well. for
Perfect.
4.
Yep. We got pretty lucky with those 2 cards coming up because you were just immediately able to
The best.
take care of that. Yep.
And now that would be my 4 turns. So I draw my 2 cards, yeah. First one is Taipei, and next is Tokyo. All right. So that's looking good for the cure for the red.
Yeah, just need 1 more card there, actually.
And then, but now I'm flipping 2.
Yep, and we still have Beijing over there.
And we do have Beijing.
There it is. Okay.
All right, so Beijing is now Outbreak.
Yep, so we're going to move this track up 1 here. If you get all the way down to 8, you're going to lose the game. And luckily, the good thing is Beijing only connects to Seoul and Shanghai.
Okay.
So we're kind of lucky there. We're going to put 1 in Seoul
Okay.
and 1 in Shanghai.
All right.
And now that part of Asia is looking a little bit more difficult than it was just a couple turns ago.
Again, overpopulation. It's just not the best. All right, so I've done that. So I've flipped my 2 cards. Right? Yeah. Did I? No, you got Bogota last time.
Oh, you just have Beijing.
Yeah,
You still
Beijing
have
was right
1
off the
more,
top.
so we could get Delhi.
No. And we got Delhi.
Oh my goodness! Wow. All right, so we go down here, and this things can ratchet up really quickly, as you see. And Delhi is connected to a lot of cities, so we get 1 in Kolkata here. We get 1 down in Chennai. We get 1 in what is this?
Mumbai, Karachi, and
Karachi, and then Tehran.
Tehran. Wow.
So now we have a lot going on. We have 3 cities right here that each have 3 disease cubes in them. And when this happens, it's a good thing you don't have to draw any more cards because those are going to come up. And when you get these, you can have outbreaks, outbreak from here to here, and then here to here, and they just start chaining all over the board. And it escalates really quickly.
And that, like you said, that means that if we lose all of our black cubes, we lose.
That's correct.
Based on the epidemics and infection rates going up, we can lose even faster. Now I don't feel so confident.
Yeah, yeah. Like we already only have this many black cubes left.
Wow.
So
but again, it gives you that sense of like urgency and excitement that any board game should give you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
And like we felt really confident because look at how many cards you're like really close to curing a disease, but now it's like, oh my gosh, we need to get over here and treat this disease. We have to wait, and then later the deck is going to be running out, and you only have 2 cures. So
It's scary.
yeah, it gets intense.
I like it. So that's Pandemic by Z-Man Games. This is available at your local game store now, so go out, pick it up. Play it with your family. Again, it is for 2 to 4 players, ages 8 and up. It takes about 45 minutes of play time. Brian, thank you so much for showing it to us. This is awesome. Great for anybody's collection. And with the holidays coming up, families are going to be getting together. Why not try to cure the disease around the world playing Pandemic? I'm Rick for Game Trade Media, and I'll see you at your local game store.
Don't forget to subscribe to Game Trade Media, leave a like, and comment on what videos you'd like to see next.